Hello lovelies, had to make a video today of course because it's such a magical day. So we're in the very last self-existing of this spiral, self-existing, free of codependency, blue monkey. Venus is the planet, and we've got Venus in Aries. What do we value? What do we love about our journey? Who I am, where we're going at this time. And maturation, it's all about becoming transparent, becoming the parent, growing up. Book recommendations today, the mind body code, really good, different perspectives, but a lot of NLP in there, and psychology, and Dr. Mario Martinez. Great book and great ideas in there. And you can use EFT as well. So again, I haven't yet found anything that is more effective and faster for clearing out your old story, your old child issues than EFT, emotional freedom technique. So if you haven't tried it yet, check it out. So what's happening today then with the astrology? So we've got a very powerful day of manifestation today. And I said this in my video yesterday, what we want to manifest in 6 months' time is really key. And of course, at the moment, we're in between two places of the new moon in Taurus at 10 degrees. And coming up to the full moon in Scorpio, a lunar eclipse at 25 degrees of Scorpio. So wherever you've got this in your chart is huge for you. 25 degrees was earlier on this morning in Pacific time. And I woke up really early this morning and really got on it as to loads of ideas and things that I want to create in the next 6 months. So I was just looking at lots and lots of different things. When it's your sun degree in the moon, it's a really powerful time for you to change your shadow story and take action. So again, the more that you know about your codes, the more that you know about how to work with them. It's a language of consciousness, it's a language of light. Astrology, the Mayan calendar, it was created for this time for us to get clear. So we're the day before Mercury goes retrograde, and we're the day before Jupiter in Aries, so we're at the last degrees of Jupiter being in Pisces today. What else have we got going? Leo moon's now at 27 degrees. Manifest these goals. Mars is ruling the day. Take action. Remember, one of the most important things about the Mayan calendar that it shows us is what we're doing every day is going to show up later on in our timeline. And another insight that I had today as well about traveling. So when you travel and you go forward in time, you're literally going to your future in some way. When you go back in time, you're going back literally to old frameworks. So remember, we're in this giant mystery school and we're seeing our holograph, and there is nothing outside of our holograph in terms of pattern matching. This is so key to understand as well. So whilst people can recommend us books like I've just done for you, that's my pattern and it's my code. And everything that I choose is going to have something to reflect back to me. And so it's the same for each other. So often we're well-meaning and we share things and that's all good, but it doesn't mean it's going to stick with that person, because that's not how it works. If you're like me and from an early age you had about 6 books going at once as well, that's a key pattern. We're coming into a new stage now where people who are becoming clear, becoming very consciously aware, realize that we don't have to read chapter and verse on everything. We might just need a tiny little snippet a sentence even in that book. So holding on to stuff, holding on to this old stuff, baggage, and that is the conditioned mindset. Cards for today, we've got Red Earth. So go back to Red Earth time, and I will post the time of it under my video. I've got a small amount of time today, so again, be mindful of that. So when we're in the Red Earth cycle, which is the previous 52-day cycle to now, and we're seeing the manifestation, what was coming to light, what ungrounds you, where do you want to be on planet Earth, where's the optimum place for human beings to live. That's a very transcendent perspective. Get a plan now. It's important to get a plan at this time on planet Earth, where you're going to be, where's the optimum space for you, where are you able to connect to nature, where's the weather good, especially if you're getting older like me. You want to have something that's good for your bones, where you can be outdoors a lot more, where it doesn't get too cold in the winter, because that can be a challenge to get through. You can't get the sunlight, you can't get natural healthy food if you're in a city. Again, there's no right or wrong with this, but it's just looking at what are the optimum patterns for life. Today, we have got the 10 of discs, which is wealth. If you want to manifest wealth, you need health, first of all. That's really important. Try living your life when you're not well, and it's very, very hard. So again, big lessons will be coming up in the last couple of years. I'll post a link for this. This comes up a lot for me, and it has a structure there that you can see, lots of different signs in there. And it's a process. All of these are here as a process, a metaphor for how to live. So very important that we are feeling this connection to the earth, that we're feeling where we want to be, what makes you happy, that isn't something that's a need, that isn't an addiction, that isn't, oh, I've got to have that in order to be happy. We just need to be getting freer and freer of this stuff now and understand how our body works. And again, back to that book, he explains it very eloquently and shows how the whole process works, mind, body, spirit, and how we can have this awareness that is free and clear of a lot of the old medical models, a lot of the old ideas, because remember, we become what we believe. We live what we believe every day. That's how it works. There is no definitive how it is on planet Earth. It's all subjective. We've got shared playgrounds to play in, and decide who you want to be around. So to use a gardening metaphor, I was out in the garden yesterday catching up, and if you're pruning a rose tree, and a rose is very, very symbolic of this whole beauty path and journey and the labyrinth and the heart. First of all, remember to smell the roses every day. Don't put off something in your daily routine. Don't swamp yourself out with doing too much of one thing, because remember, that's going to keep showing up for you in the future. This is really, really important. Okay, so you want to be balanced, you want to be doing mind, body, and spirit things every day, and often that can be challenging to begin with to break that pattern, but you've got to do it. You've got to go for it, because if you don't start making those steps, you're going to be stuck on the old labyrinth. So back to the rose. Okay, so you can choose to tie up your rose with bare arms, bare hands, and if it's a rose with thorns, you're going to get scratched. And sometimes I have done that, and again, being very mindful of why would I do that? What programming is going on there? Why do I think it's okay to self-harm basically. Why don't I put the right clothes on? Why don't I put the right gloves on? Because if I do these things, then I'm not going to scratch my skin, I'm not going to hurt my skin. Now, when you're younger, that often isn't thought of even as an issue because your body heals really quickly. But as you get older, you become a lot more mindful of these things because your body sometimes doesn't repair as fast. And it can be really challenging to recover your health once you get burned out as well. So that's another thing. Don't get your battery too flat because it doesn't regenerate the same as it does when you're at your optimum ages of youth. Now, there's lots of ideas around that and challenges around that to that belief system as well that are coming up, which are great, so that we don't actually have to age in the way that we think we do. But again, it comes back to being very mindful about yourself and your choices and how you parent yourself, how you nurture yourself, how you look after yourself. And just had a great meeting with Jamie on this. So thank you, Jamie. Big shout out to Jamie. And I will be talking more about her stuff as well that she's been sharing with me, co-creation on the Mayan front, and her amazing skincare routine as well, which for me, my whole life, I haven't really focused on that. And I'm focusing on it now, especially thanks to her. So again, it's coming into new conscious awareness, letting go of self-harm. Either I'm going to prune the roses, I'm going to protect my skin and my hands, and then I don't get thorns in my skin in the same way. And we have been so programmed to believe certain things to fit in with our culture and our society that isn't healthy for us. There is a power imbalance. And women especially, I think, I'm continually gobsmacked, I'm going to use that word, I'm continually gobsmacked about how we think as women that our society has moved on. And then the actual true evidence is it hasn't moved on at all because of the reasons that I've said, that people aren't clearing these mindsets out. We're supposed to have a very different way of being as a woman in the world today in the West. But the truth is, most men that I know are still stuck in old paradigms and thinking that women have to be rescued, that they can't do stuff for themselves, you know, that they're not strong, and are so shocked, you know, when you actually can use a screwdriver or you can lift something, or you know, you're strong. It's just totally bizarre in a way, but I'm getting used to it now. I'm getting really used to it. And so it's recognizing that we all have these belief systems and choosing the people that you want to be around, because this again is a really crucial understanding. If you are in a relationship with a person, whether it's romantic, whether it's a business, whatever it is, and they have a certain belief about women that doesn't match for you, you're going to be in constant struggle with that unless they change that belief system. So again, it's recognizing certain belief systems will gel together and others will jar together, and just becoming more and more of a conscious dreamer about that. So remember, Blue Monkey is the 11th mind sign. We're in red spectral moon. We're in the letting go moon. We're in the last few days now of this cycle. You know what has been coming up for you. Since we're in the center of the Zolkin, remember, that's where Blue Monkey Wavespell is. Right in the center. Yeah. And so when we go back to that time as well, then we can see what was happening for us back then and see how much we progressed from that space now. And again, I'll post the dates. I haven't looked them up, but they're all there in my ebooks. And so if you want to join me, time is running out. The next 260 cycle, if you want to have the codes for the first 13 days, you're going to be working with consciously, powerfully around what you want to manifest and what you want to release, what you want to rewire now. Then please do get in touch with me as soon as you can, because I need time to create these codes for you. And I know we're going to be in for a hell of a journey in the next 260 days around the bullshit, the practical grounded tools that we need to use, and how to embody this new framework. And embodiment is the absolute key. Most of our childhood issues were created before we had any intellectual framework. There was no reasoning going on at that time. So why people think that they can solve their situation, their trauma through reasoning is baffling to me. And I mean, I know often it's coming from a place of a lack of awareness, but believe me, you cannot shift these energies, these emotions, these traumas, these old ancestral patterns through talking about it, through thinking about it on its own. It just doesn't work. In order to go into a whole different space, we have to really look at what belief systems we hold, how we're holding them, and how to release them using dynamic, emotional healing techniques so that we become free and we can start living a really magical life, like a child again, in terms of wonder, curiosity, wowness, and also from a place of wisdom, maturity, and having been around the block a few times, being able to have a really good radar for stuff that is not true, that is delusional, that is manipulative. We came here for this shift. And women are so wise in so many ways and so spellbound in so many others. So if you're ready to lift the veil more and more, then get in touch with me in the next few days and we can look at very specifically what's coming up to shift for you so that you can go into a whole new way of being. So lots of love. I hope you're having a magical, magical day. Set those intentions today. Do a ritual, send them out. Be mindful of what you're doing today, because in 6 months' time, it's going to be manifest. Plant those seeds, send those energies out, and trust that you are here to set yourself free and set the world on a new trajectory. Bye for now.